Episode 21. Now, we just hit the 3-week mark a couple days ago, so I'm just going to use this episode as kind of a overview of everything that I've noticed up to this point, things I've progressed on, things that still need work. As far as stuff that I've progressed on, my speaking is a little better. The flow still needs a little work. I still pause a lot, which is kind of normal. It's better than saying or but it still needs work nonetheless. However, I feel like my side tangents are getting a little better. I mean, I'll throw that in kind of like the intermediate category. I still stray from my meta point way too much. And then saying words such as obviously or stuff that I just catch myself saying way too much. And then there's also, I noticed this fairly recently, I also click my tongue a lot, which is me swallowing, I guess. I just go after saying something, which I don't know if you guys notice as much as me, but I notice, like, as soon as I do it, watching my videos back, it just catches my attention. I'm like, damn, I need to stop doing that. But that, and then just taking a second to breathe, because that's another thing that I really have noticed is I just go on a long spiel. I don't take time to recollect my thoughts, and I just breathe, so I'm not, one, fumbling over my words, and then two, just losing your attention because it's just a run-on sentence. So, that's what I've noticed. If you've noticed anything that I didn't mention, let me know. If not, we'll get back to this in a few episodes because I'm just going to keep documenting the progress. But other than that, I just want to speak on stuff that I've noticed as far as marketing. Now, obviously, short form content is the primary way to grow any sort of social media outlet. With the two pieces of content that I've released, which is basically clips of this podcast, I've released them on YouTube, and those two clips are the most viewed pieces of content by a pretty large margin compared to everything else I've done. So definitely on the to-do list, need to do way more short form content, which is kind of difficult at this current state because I don't really talk about anything that's really super helpful, and I mean that's fine, but it is something that I will be doing eventually, probably sooner than later. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I have noticed on Instagram, that's where before I did this podcast, that's where I primarily just, networked and marketed, but I've tried a bunch of different strategies for content creation. It's my Instagram, at least in its current state, is kind of weird looking. I have, a bunch of quotes with music behind it in the reel form, like a Facebook reel format. And then I have, a few, like, AI images with music behind it in a reel format. And then before I did the podcast, I just, spoke my thoughts to the camera and then just did that as a reel too. So my Instagram in its current state is kind of wacky. Like, it is what it is. It's social media. I don't take it too seriously, but it is kind of goofy. Just because there's no, like, it's just all over the place. It's goofy. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that's kind of the overview that I've noticed. But if there's any topics you want me to cover down the road, I will be going back to the AI training with my, AI assistant. Obviously, with everything going on, I've had to put my focus elsewhere, but I'm going to get back to that. And I also plan on starting a whole new agent and just kind of showing you the process I go about, training it, just so it's more, because when I first started, here we go, side tangent. So yeah, I'm going to start a new agent because with my previous agent, I started showing you guys after I had already done, the installation and have already trained it for hours, honestly. So I do plan on doing like a whole full length, start to finish, installation and basically a how-to video of how to, get your own AI assistant. But I will, obviously, I'm still learning the ropes on it, so I will finish the little mini series I started, and then we'll get to the how-to video down the road. But yeah, other than that, life is still kind of weird. A lot of things to get used to still, but staying positive, staying generally still happy. I'm a happy individual. It's just life has just changed so dramatically in the past couple days that a lot of stuff just doesn't feel real, but dogs. But anyway, I'll cut this short. I say that every single time. Every time. But yeah, I'll cut it now. So you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.